Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Here.
Director Rundy.
Here.
Director Hayes.
Here.
Director Roth.
Here.
Director Morris not present. Director Gray.
Here.
And President Bradley.
Here. We have a quorum. I call a meeting to order.
From the President, contract and bond for letting number 8587 to construct stage in Lindenwood Park. Contract and bond for letting number 8590 Civil Courts Building Facade and Plaza repairs. PSA number 1171 Environmental Investigation and Remediation Consultant Services as required to support the redevelopment of portions of the Northern Track property at Lambert St. Louis International Airport. PSA number 1172 Design Services for Liberal Arts Bridge Replacement, Muni Tributary Enhancements and Governmental Drive Improvements, Forest Park. Addendum number 1 for letting number 8594 Municipal River Terminal South Dock Warehouse Improvements. Recommendation that permit for St. Louis Development Corporation to complete testing trenching using hydraulic excavator at 2525 and 2533 Maiden Lane and 2337 Madison, 2526 Maiden Lane and 2535 Cass have no current encroachment planned other than pedestrian access. Recommends approval subject to certain conditions. Recommendation that construction oversight, museum development, and operating agreement be approved. Emergency work orders issued for the month of October 2015 by the Department of the President and Facilities Management Division, Board of Public Service for emergency work and repairs requiring prompt attention. Recommends approval. Recommendation that the Board declares as emergency action work for fourth floor renovations for environmental safety offices, St. Louis International Airport. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that the Board declares as emergency action repave approximately 7,662 square yards of roadway and 5,238 square yards of parking area around the coagulant house at the Chain of Rocks water treatment plant. Recommends approval. From the Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following permits be approved subject to certain conditions as follows. MCI Metro Access Transmission Services, LLC, to relocate existing facilities on Scott Street between Jefferson Avenue and Ewing Avenue and place 1,230 feet of 3 1.5-inch HDPE conduits with 124 CT fiber 6 feet north of the center line of Scott Street. Southwestern Bell Telephone Company, doing business as AT&T Missouri, started at an existing handhold at the front of 3050 Spruce, bore east down Spruce, 1 feet off of the curb line for 450 feet to meet existing customer pipe going north to private property at 3033 Spruce, where a fiber optic cable will be placed. Southwestern Bell Telephone Company, doing business as AT&T Missouri, bore from an existing manhole at the front of 6831 Manchester, bore north 45 feet across Manchester and enter private property at 6831 Manchester, where a fiber cable will be placed. Southwestern Bell Telephone Company, doing business as AT&T Missouri, bore from an existing manhole at 1400 Palm west under sidewalk for 123 feet, then turn and bore north down the alley for additional 200 feet and enter private property at 3226 Blair, where a fiber optic cable will be placed. Charter Communications started at utility pole at 5500 Maple, will travel north along east side of Arcade Avenue to 955 Arcade Avenue, where Charter will enter the private property to feed new Charter business service to Kilp Street, St. Louis, where Charter will place a .625 coax cable. And Ameren, Missouri, to set poles in the alley of the south side of 3926 Lindell, west of Vanderbilt. Recommends approval subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Streets, maintenance policy for city surveillance systems on city property. Recommends approval. Recommendation that Alberici Constructors, Inc. for a one-year period permit request for use of city property on the unimproved wharf at the foot of Humboldt Avenue. Wells Fargo Advisors to encroach with pole banners to replace existing 40 poles located along Market, Jefferson, Olive, Leffingwell, Pine, and Beaumont. David Mason and Associates to encroach with 8 planters on the pedestrian sidewalk at 800 South Van der Vender. St. Louis City Library to remove and replace 4 steps, power wash stones on side of ramp and steps. Remove and reinstall railings on one side of ramp. Remove limestone pieces and replace by mortaring in place and grouting at 3309 South Grand. From the Director of Public Safety, recommendation that the board declares as a festival zone American Outlaws pre-game party November 13, 2015 at Keener Plaza and 7th and 8th Street to Busch Stadium for the March to the match.
As far as the table item goes, just a little clarification. We're going to leave that item tabled at the moment. It is within court action, and until we have some firm directive on what's going to happen there, we will leave that item tabled. Pertaining to the minutes from last week's meeting, I would like to ask that we defer the approval of the minutes until next Tuesday so that we can properly circulate those minutes for your review and comments. So the next item on would be the approval of the agenda. Are there any questions or comments about today's agenda?
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
It's been moved to approve and seconded. Can you read the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Rundy.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Roth.
Aye.
Director Moore.
Aye.
Director Gray.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye. Approved. Motion for adjournment, please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.